Hello and welcome to a special edition of Final Boarding Call. I am your disaster-obsessed host, Alice.
And I'm Zach. That's it.
Like Cher.
I'm just Cher.
Just Cher. Well, this is one of our quarterly roundups where we tell the people about all of the insane aviation shit that happened in the last 3 months.
And just from things that I've seen on the internet, I'm not sure that we're going to tell you all of them. Because, man, there's been a lot of stuff.
There's been a ton of stuff. So we're going to cover incidents in July, August, September, and then 2 things happened on October 1st. And we're going to include them in this. That's barely out of the quarter, so we're just going to include them. So
Really? Make people wait 3 months? We don't think so.
No, that's cruel and unusual. And Zach, you're going to kick us off here with the first story.
I'd love to kick you.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. Well, for our first one, we have July 19th, when a SkyWest operated Delta Connection regional jet on approach to Minot International Airport in North Dakota had to perform an aggressive evasive maneuver to avoid a mid-air collision with a U.S. Air Force B-52 bomber conducting a flyover for the North Dakota State Fair. The control tower, which operates visually without radar, had cleared the regional jet for approach but failed to notify the crew about the massive bomber in the same airspace.
That seems problematic.
We'll figure it out.
Fucking fine. What could go wrong?
The SkyWest pilot spotted what he thought was a small aircraft, but when air traffic control gave conflicting turn instructions, he realized he was actually a B-52 on a convergent course. He executed a sharp turn behind the bomber and landed safely. The pilot got onto the intercom and gave the passengers a completely candid debrief, saying, "Nobody told us about it, and I don't know why they didn't give us a heads up. And that is not a fun day at work for me either."
Oh my gosh, classic.
I would love to hear a pilot come on and just tell me, it's like, yeah, that was crap. We know, and I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it when I don't know. The NTSB later received the B-52 nearly collided with 2 aircrafts that day, both a SkyWest jet and a private Piper, citing understaffed control tower conditions. The FAA and Air Force are still investigating the communication failures that led to this near disaster over North Dakota.
So only 6 days later, on July 25th, United Airlines Flight 108, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner bound for Munich, experienced a left engine failure shortly after departing Washington Dulles. Actually, it's Dulles, and I know that because we flew out of Washington Dulles, and I said Dulles in the airport, and somebody corrected me. It was a real-life version of this podcast where I said something completely wrong, and then instead of reading the comments to learn how to pronounce things.
But man, they were happy to correct you.
Oh yeah, guys, we're starting to get comments of people correcting my pronunciation. It's hilarious. Keep it up. I think it is so funny, and it's a running joke of this podcast that I can't pronounce anything. So please keep correcting my horrific pronunciations.
Even after these years of marriage, she still can't pronounce my last name, so works out.
Works out great. So it had 219 passengers and 11 crew on board. The engine failed at around 5,000 feet.
You haven't gotten real far from the airport to 5,000 feet.
No. And the pilots immediately declared a Mayday emergency because the aircraft was still carrying a full transatlantic fuel load, making it too heavy to land safely. The pilots had to fly in circles for 2 hours, dumping fuel over a designated area before they could attempt an emergency landing.
Wow.
Wild.
Imagine
guys.
being on that plane.
No, I'd be so mad. The 787 flew the entire time on just one engine, which is what it's designed to do because...
Redundancy
drink. The pilots executed a textbook emergency landing back at Dulles with fire trucks standing by, all 230 people deplaned normally, So it wasn't even an emergency exit. They just were like, okay, we're getting off the plane now. The FAA investigation into the engine failure cause is ongoing, but this incident demonstrated exactly why pilots spend hundreds of hours training for engine out scenarios and why big planes have 2 engines.
Or 3. Depends on the day.
Or 3 or 4 if they're freaky. Okay, your turn, Zach.
Somewhere between 6 and 9.
Such a...
All right. Well, 10 days later, during the festival Aéreo Internacional de Gijón in northern Spain, the Spanish Air Force EF-18 Hornet performed a dramatic low-altitude flyby over San Lorenzo Bay and nearly ended in disaster. The jet was flying perpendicular to a packed beach with over 300,000 spectators when the pilot suddenly detected a flock of birds directly in the flight path. Has anyone heard of a bird strike?
Oh, no.
The pilot executed a sharp, evasive roll and dived toward the ocean at extremely low altitude, narrowly missing both the water and the crowd below. The jet trailed dark smoke momentarily, but recovered and landed safely. Video footage captured the heart-stopping moment as the fighter appeared to nearly clip the surf. Imagine a wake coming up.
No.
You're in a fighter jet and you're upside down at the water after doing a crazy turn and dive. And you're like, oh no, this could be it.
So bad. So bad.
The Spanish Air Force confirmed the maneuver was standard protocol to avoid bird strike, which at high speed could have been catastrophic. They praised the pilot's split-second decision-making, but the incident showcased the inherent risks of low-altitude airshow performances over populated areas.
That pilot's a badass, though. That is some Top Gun maneuvering.
To see a pack of birds
It's
while
crazy.
flying.
That fast?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wild. That's a crazy one. Okay. In August, a Breeze Airways flight from Norfolk, Virginia to LA was forced to divert to Grand Junction, Colorado, which is in our neck of the woods, due to an intoxicated passenger who became violent mid-flight. The passenger waved a skateboard and, this is not funny, yelled racist slurs at flight attendants and other passengers. And he had to be physically restrained twice, breaking free both times. Was he drunk or on bath salts?
I'm just saying, I dream of this moment. Put me in, coach. Oh my gosh. So much pent-up aggression ready to just subdue a bad guy.
Okay, you're going to love the description of this guy. A passenger described as the linebacker in 17C, which is Zach, eventually subdued the man by physically picking him up and forcing him back into his seat. That is Zach. Zach is the linebacker in 17C.
And he's our toddler, and I will sit next to you the rest of this trip. You sit down.
It's so fucking funny. The flight diverted to Grand Junction, where the disrupted passenger was arrested by local authorities at the FBI's discretion, and he faces federal charges. The flight was delayed by several hours while a new crew was brought in, with passengers arriving in Los Angeles 8 hours late.
Oh, yeah, I would still be upset.
I wonder if you get any money back for that one. Do you get any? Can you imagine submitting a complaint using the American Airlines complaint form and being like, dude, there was a racist lunatic on this flight?
Honestly, because of the racism, it wouldn't shock me if people got completely reimbursed.
Mm.
That's just stuff that you shouldn't have to deal with in a situation like that.
That's a good point. One flight attendant and one passenger sustained minor injuries due to the altercation. And really, I wanted to tell this story, one, because it's absurd, but two, because I think flight attendants everywhere are feeling more and more anxiety around psycho people on planes. Just people not wanting to listen to any sort of authority, follow directions, pay attention, and then becoming unruly and unhinged.
And I mean, I have to imagine that somewhere around 70, maybe even more percent of flight attendant staff is female.
Well, I've got a straight male flight attendant friend named Corey, and he's awesome. I would love to get him on the show. So, Corey, if you happen to be listening to this,
I could use another Pepsi.
He and his wife are both flight attendants for United. They're a cool couple. Okay. Well, that's my friggin' nuts story. And now, your turn.
On August 19th, a Delta Airlines Boeing 737-800 flying from Orlando to Austin experienced a wing flap detachment mid-flight during descent. Sounds terrible.
I would need to be restrained on that flight. I would lose my mind.
Passengers on the left side of the aircraft watched in alarm as the outer trailing edge flap, the hinge section on the back of the wing used for landing, broke partially free and swung erratically in the wind. The flap remained attached by a single inboard hinge, preventing complete separation.
No!
I think those moments where you're just scanning over the wing as you're sitting there waiting for pushback, and you're like, all right, I see all those screws. Those are good. There's one missing screw. There's still a lot of screws, but there's a missing screw. The pilots managed to land safely at Austin despite the damaged flap, and all 62 passengers and 6 crew members were unharmed. The aircraft was immediately grounded for inspection. What makes this particularly concerning is that this was the second Delta 737 flap incident in just 2 months. In July, another flap section was found in someone's driveway near Raleigh-Durham Airport after a flight landed safely. The FAA investigation is focusing on whether there are systemic maintenance issues, inspection protocol gaps, or parts quality problems affecting the Delta 737 fleet. 2 similar failures in such a short time frame raises red flags about whether something in the maintenance process needs to be fixed. I would like to point out, though, that, this is issues going on, but we don't have any deaths yet. This is good so far.
This is good so far. You're right. In early September, Alaska Airlines experienced a 3-hour system-wide ground stop due to a critical hardware failure in their data centers. Bummer to whatever data centers are currently housing Alaska Airlines. The outage affected core operational systems used for crew scheduling, flight planning, passenger check-in, and basically everything needed to run an airline, because data centers are critical infrastructure. So when they go down, the world stops. Despite having multi-redundant backup systems, the hardware failure impacted both Alaska Airlines and their subsidiary Horizon Air, particularly at Seattle Tacoma International Airport, which is that's their home base. Like how United has Denver, Alaska has Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Just learned that, actually. The airline worked with their third-party hardware vendor to bypass the failed component, but not before canceling over 150 flights.
Oh, jeez.
Yikes. What's concerning is that this really draws comparisons to similar IT groundings that Alaska has experienced in previous years, suggesting that they might want to take a look at their infrastructure. Might be time.
Maybe it's time to update some of their computers old.
This is a crazy one because of the episode that we had last week. So when I read this one, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Okay, go Zach, go.
On September 25th, Delta Airlines announced it is replacing auxiliary power units, small engines at the rear of the aircraft that provide power when main engines are off, on more than 300 Airbus A320 family jets. The reason? Toxic fumes leaking into the cabin have caused health problems for passengers and crews, including reported cases of neurological damage. The leaks occur when oil enters the APU's compression chamber and burns at a high heat, releasing neurotoxic chemicals into the aircraft's air supply. Worn seals designed to prevent oil leakage are the culprit, and the problem has become more frequent on aging A320 aircrafts. Reported health effects include nausea, headaches, cognitive impairment, and some serious neurological issues. Delta began this replacement program back in 2022, and reports are now more than 90% complete across their fleet of 310 A320 family aircrafts. The proactive approach addresses a critical safety and health issue, though questions remain about why these defects weren't caught earlier on, and whether other airlines operating A320s are facing similar problems.
There's got to be some crazy lawsuit going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, every major company has some A320s, right?
Yeah, I just want to see one of those commercials, the ones that are like, if you used baby powder between 1993 and 1999, and now you have cognitive issues, you could be entitled to yes, exactly. Yes. That's going to be this. If you flew on an airplane and now you've got brain problems. It is not funny. That really happened to people. It's just a little funny. Okay. On September 29th, Icelandic low-cost carrier Play Airlines abruptly ceased all operations and entered bankruptcy proceedings. Not over the course of weeks, literally overnight. They yanked the plug. All flights, because they had flights, canceled. Effective that moment, stranding 1,750 passengers worldwide.
Jeez.
Yes. Founded in 2019 as a successor to failed carrier Wow Air, Play operated Airbus A320s and A321 aircraft, connecting Iceland with 30 destinations in Europe and North America. But the airline never achieved profitability in the 4 years that it operated. Declining ticket sales followed, negative media coverage, rising costs, engine maintenance issues, and the fact that Iceland's home market was less than 400,000 people.
I just can't believe we're not turning a profit.
It's tough. About 400 employees lost their jobs in a moment, and passengers were advised to seek refunds through credit card companies.
You have to call your credit card company
Giant
for it.
middle finger. Oh yeah, they don't. They're done.
So there were plenty of people that didn't get those refunds, and the airline got to keep it.
Yes, 100%. Yep, that was their solution. This marks the second major Icelandic budget carrier to collapse in 6 years, highlighting the brutal economics of sustaining low-cost airlines in small markets.
But also, everything about Iceland is just extremely expensive.
It is. However, Iceland Air, the national carrier, is doing well.
Flourishing.
They're doing great, and they're actually going to expand their service to cover many of Play's former routes.
Just after the quarter ended on October 1st, 2 Delta Airlines regional jets collided on the taxiway at New York's LaGuardia Airport around 10 p.m. Both aircraft were Bombardier CRJ-900s operated by Endeavor Air. Endeavor Flight 5155, preparing for departure to Roanoke, Virginia, had its right wing strike the nose and cockpit window of Endeavor Flight 5047, which had just landed from Charlotte, North Carolina. The impact was severe. The wing of Flight 5155 was completely torn off, and the cockpit window and nose of Flight 5047 suffered major damage. Air traffic control had instructed Flight 5155 to hold short and yield to the arriving aircraft, but the jets made contact anyway at the intersection of taxiways M and A. MA.
Wow.
A flight attendant on one jet was hospitalized with a minor knee injury, but no passengers required medical attention. All passengers were escorted to the terminal and provided overnight accommodations. The NTSB sent investigators to analyze the flight recorders from both jets and examine taxiway procedures, visibility conditions, and surface radar effectiveness at LaGuardia.
Is it kind of, every time I hear about airplanes colliding on the ground, it reminds me of Tenerife, and it really bums me out.
It's less than ideal, I would say. It's still my turn.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Tell me
Stop
more.
taking it from me.
Oh.
Also on October 1st, in the early morning hours, around 4:15 a.m., a small single-engine plane crash-landed on Powers Boulevard in Colorado Springs, right in our hometown.
Dang.
Right near the intersection of Barnes Road. The aircraft had departed from Colorado Springs Airport just minutes earlier at approximately 4:13 a.m. before experiencing an emergency that forced the pilot to land on a busy roadway. Against all odds, all 3 occupants walked away without injuries. Colorado Springs Fire Department responded quickly to stop a fuel leak and secure the scene. Southbound lanes of Powers Boulevard were blocked for hours, causing significant traffic disruptions, and the wreckage was cleared. The cause of the emergency is still under investigation, but this represents one of those rare, successful roadside emergencies where everyone survives unharmed. It's a testament to both pilot skill and sheer luck when a plane can touch down on a city street without causing injuries or fatalities.
It's so true. It's pretty nuts.
I don't care how small a plane is, it's still bigger than a car.
Yeah. Gosh, I think I heard about that story from somebody at work who knows that we do this podcast. And they sent me the link and they're like, did you hear about that crazy plane crash with everybody survived in Colorado? And I was like, that's not just in Colorado. That's 15 minutes from my house. This is nuts.
Well, I'm sure that is where you heard about it, but I told you about it the day it happened.
Oh, maybe it was you. Baby, it's always been you. And it always will be you.
Wives don't hear husbands' voices.
That's actually true. Yeah. You just speak at a frequency where it's just... All right, folks, that wraps up our Q3 2025 Aviation News Roundup. Amazing stories, crazy stories, no deaths.
Which is phenomenal.
Amazing.
That's what we hope for.
That's incredible. Still kind of a scary time to be flying just because of serious staffing shortages all around air traffic control towers. So especially right now, I mean, this will get released in a few days, so who knows if we will still be in a government shutdown. But right now, you know, our air traffic controllers are not being paid for working. So if you know an air traffic controller, give them a hug, because what a shit situation.
Yeah, the most high-stress job in the world, and you're not getting paid.
You're not getting paid to do it. Cool. Okay, we will be back with our regular episode next week, and it is our 30th episode next week too. So I'm going to do kind of a special. Yeah, big time. I'm going to do a special one that most people, even not aviation people, will know.
Love it.
I know. Let's do it. So it's a great episode to tell your mom about. Not this one, next week's. All right. And until then, remember to stow your tray tables, fasten your seatbelts, and prepare for the unexpected. Because not every trip reaches its final destination. Goodbye.